guys?
What one of the guys you fell in love with?
Ryan Harrow.
Ryan Harrow.
Ryan Harrow. Ryan Harrow. He went to Walton High School, and then he committed to Kentucky, and then he transferred to NC State, I think. And professionally, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but like in high school, he was like, he like played like Jamal Crawford.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's who. Yeah, he was tough. So that was like for sure like who I was watching.
You gotta understand, it was a triple effect. Like a lot of y'all don't know, Ryan Harrow. He was young at the time, but Lil JJ was in the movie.
Yeah.
He was giving him fits because he played Little JJ's stunt double.
Yep.
So I guess we gassed everybody up. JJ playing because Ryan looked all little. Was faxing his ass all out there. Just imagine, like Ryan Harrow used to play with us when he was like 6 or 7 years old in a real game.
Yeah.
Throwing shit through your legs, boomerang. He could do all sorts of shit. Pretty much raised up with him.
Y'all might be asleep on Ryan Harrow. It might be a minute 19 mix, but just know this mix is fire. He's the reason why I wanted to wear number 12 in high school. Now, I watched this mixtape, no cap, at least 4 to 5 times a day in high school. I tried to mimic his moves and everything. I just wasn't right-handed.
Was Ryan there?
Ryan Harrow.
Hey, listen.
Kyle Wiltshire.
You watched mixtapes and shit when you was younger?
But what? That's the only reason why I knew who Ryan was.
Thinking of that, Ryan Harrow might have had one of the best hoop mixtapes I've ever seen.
Oh, he's up there with Austin Rivers.
Give me a top 3. We try to do this on every
tapes.
Top 3 tapes.
I mean, Wall, Rivers, gotta be Ryan. Those would be the 3 off the top of my head.
Ryan Harrow was up there. I didn't even think about that till Willie got in here.
Well, he's such a wizard with the rock, bro, that I never even seen him work out.
No, everything was natural.
I never even seen him work on the game before, bro. Dead ass. And he was a wizard, bro. He was good, man. Never seen him work on the game, bro. He would just do a couple dribble drills, do some floaters, shoot some threes, and he was out.
Get to it.
Back at the crib. You know, Brody had some depression stuff going on too, man, with his family. His pops had a stroke. So he was going through a bunch of stuff that year that a lot of people didn't know about.
And nobody ever gave it.
And nobody even wanted to ask the question that, you know what I mean? So he just spiraled, just went deeper and deeper and deeper until, like you said, you got to get up out of there.
Got to go.
Resurrected him, though.
For sure.
Like, he got that new energy. He was back with his pops. So, like, you know, it happens for a reason. But
for sure.
This is Ryan Harrow. I play point guard at Walton High School, number 12. I'm just going to describe my game. It's just kind of electrifying, gets people into the game. Like, when they see me, they like to watch me play because I get everybody involved. But I guess people say I have a flashy game, but it's just the way that I play. And people have learned that this is what he does on a regular basis. And it's just, I'm having fun out there. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just having fun and letting the game come to me. And when the game comes to me, you never know what's going to happen.
I started him when he was 2. You know, we got this Fisher-Price thing. I used to lay down on the floor, and he used to, you know, do his little thing, shooting over me and all that. And I started coaching him when he was 5 years old. And just watch, I'm like, wow. And other people like, did he just do that? I'm like, yeah. And then he was 6 years old, 7 years old. And it got to the point where the kids that he was playing against, they couldn't check him anymore. So as he was growing up, I put him in 3-on-3 tournaments, and we just did that for a while. Moved on to the AAU thing. He was killing it 3-on-3, doing his thing in AAU. But there was something that happened where his height wasn't catching up to his age. So the team that he was originally playing with from a little kid, when he got to, I think, 15, and his height didn't start getting to where his age was at, they were like, well, I really don't think we can use him. I was like, wow. So I had to take my son from Georgia to North Carolina and put him on a team in North Carolina. For him to go play AAU ball for 8 hours and get home, Mark, let's go to the gym. and stay in here for 4 hours and work out, and come home and work out tomorrow. That's dedication. When you dedicated to your craft, this is what happens. You know, it took a long time for people, my wife and I, we was just talking about this, took a long time for people to start realizing who this kid was. But now that they did, they caught in on the right time. Trust me.
I've known Ryan since he was 8 years old. I met him, he was just a little kid. Him and actually Phil Taylor, they were playing around, playing 2-on-2 with some older kids, and they were killing him. So, you know, we became fast friends, you know, right there on the spot. Met his father, you know, his mom and so forth. And it just so happened that a girl I met probably 3 months later, Ryan lived next door to him. So it was just ironic, and you know, from that point on, Ryan just always was, you know, at my side, you know, playing ball, doing little workouts, you know, mimicking, you know, the little drills, whatever I would do. And you know, he was always playing AAU ball, always doing well. You know, we started the workouts, and Ryan had just really started touching the rim, grabbing the rim with 2 hands in February of last year. You know, we took it to another level. You know, we started running around my supervision, up and down the stairs, 40, 50 times, doing jumps, you know, all kind of stuff. Ryan is dedicated, you know, to working out. As a matter of fact, you know, it got to the point where in the summertime, every Sunday, when he didn't have an AAU game or whatever, we would do 3 workouts a day. You know, and that's the dedication that he has, you know, to basketball.
10th grade year going into my 11th, I couldn't even touch rim. I worked out with Mark for about 2 months straight, like every day running stairs and running sprints, and I was dunking on people. It was crazy. I was like, thank you. This is what brought my game to the next level. Just working, and I was running with the weight vest. So this and the weight vest and running up these stairs that I'm about to run and like doing the drills, it helps a lot. Started off with my high school season. I didn't, like me and Mark had set goals just coming back to Atlanta knowing that and I was playing in the highest region, that it would be kind of tough. So before the season started, we was like aiming for 20 points a game, maybe 5 assists, trying to make the all-region team. That was the goal, and to get the team to the playoffs. But it ended up being my first game, I came out 30 points. My second game, 35 points. My third game, I had 43 points, so I couldn't imagine like all of this happening. So I ended up the season with averaging 30 points, averaging 6 assists, being Mr. Basketball for the county, making the all-state team, getting all Metro. So I guess my name was just getting out there.
To Georgia the end of my 10th grade year. Went to Walton. Played well there.
3rd team All-American, 3rd team parade All-American. I mean, that's better than just played.
I appreciate
next
it.
Level, man.
I did all right there. Then
when it came down to Walton, where were you at in your headspace when you just transferred, you know, back to the city and you you back in Cobb? What made you choose Walton? Was it a district thing, or was it just like you chose Walton for a reason?
So crazy thing, because you said headspace.
Right.
I quit basketball.
No way.
That's the reason I moved back to Atlanta from North Carolina.
Wow.
My grandmother had just passed away, and I'm close with my grams.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, bro. Rest in peace.
She had just passed away, and I was just like, I ain't playing ball anymore.
100.
Like, I don't want to play ball.
100.
Just come get me.
100. You were young.
I grew up living with my grandmother as well.
It's a different bond.
Yeah, that was the first person I had lost,
100.
you know, to death and stuff.
So young. It's emotional, bro.
So,
I mean, a loved one is that type of bond. It's gonna hit that way every time.
Yeah. So I came back home and I wasn't playing basketball. And I mean, I thought about it, and when I thought about it, I was like, you know, let me go to Wheeler.
Right.
I know Phil Taylor. I grew up playing with Phil.
Shout out Phil
from that Ben Hill area.
100. Yeah.
And the coach told me I won't start. So I'm like, okay, I get it.
Right.
And my mom is big on education, so Walton, great education. Plus, we knew Glenn was going there, so it was just like, all right, I'll go there.
Right.
I was really nervous, bro. I was like coming back to Atlanta, and people didn't know. You know, I hit this crazy growth spurt. When I moved from from Atlanta to North Carolina, I was only 5'3". Right. When I came back from North Carolina to Atlanta, I'm 6'1". Right. So it's a difference. Right. And
you did take a jump, because I did see older footage of you, and you shot up, and not only did you shoot up, you got explosive. You got real bouncy. You know what I'm saying?
And see, I always knew I was good because I could always dribble, I could always pass. I wasn't the greatest shooter, but I knew the game. But then once I hit that growth spurt and I got explosive with my moves, I was like, okay, I may do something. And then first couple of games back in Atlanta, I think I was dropping 30s.
You were going crazy, bro.
How about saying?
You gave us 2 30 balls. You gave us a 30 ball at Milton. You gave us another 30 ball at Walton. I mean, I'm like, God.
And once I saw that I could drop 30s, I was like, okay, I think I'm getting it now. Like,
so were you training a lot prior to that season? So that's junior year.
Yes. So
who was the trainer?
Mark Edwards.
Mark Edwards, the infamous Mark Edwards. You know, you kind of made him famous in Georgia.
But you know what's crazy? He was already on the scene, because you know who Hot Sauce is.
Oh yeah, that's the peoples he was dealing with. I remember that scene.
That was him. Hot Sauce is he created Hot Sauce.
Right.
So that's where I got all my moves from, because he lived in my neighborhood, and he saw me playing in the driveway one day, and he was like, "I do and one." Wow. Come with me.
So you was cooking. Were you around Hot Sauce too?
Yeah, I used to go on tour with them when I was in elementary school and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So I was doing a tour, and I would just watch them all day, and just mimic them to the point where they called me the recorder, because I would try to do anything that they were doing, and that's where I got all my handles from. And I guess my imagination. Gatorade Player of the Year, and McDonald's is to put on a show.
Yeah.
Didn't get McDonald's, didn't get Jordan. I didn't even get fucking Elite 24.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's when my basketball, that's when basketball for me, it kind of went like this.
Right.
I was like, bro, I worked my ass off for this shit. And I didn't get no recognition. And that's where somebody should have sat me down and been like,
keep going.
It don't matter.
Yeah, factual.
And I
hope you're saying you didn't have that. So that's what you're saying.
Like I was damn near distraught, bro.
Right.
Like I stopped buying Jordans for a little minute, and I stopped eating McDonald's for a little minute, because I was like, nigga, y'all
fuck these niggas.
y'all didn't pick me. Like I was like in a whirlwind, because I was working so hard, bro. And like, but who averages 38 as a senior?
Yeah.
I averaged 38 at Walter, bro.
We're going with 1206 and 1205.
I just wanted to say thank you for all the support, and I mean, I always knew I was going to come to NC State ever since Coach Lowe walked into the gym to see another basketball player, and then he told me he's the one that I wanted when everybody else didn't think I'd be anything. And now I am where I am, and all these coaches want me, but I said I'm going to stay true to NC State and Coach Lowe. So
I guess it's official now. And I just wanted to say thank y'all for all the support. The reason I picked NC State was because of Coach Lowe. He's played in the ACC, he's played in the NBA, he's coached in the ACC, he's coached in the NBA. So he's gonna get me from each level to be the best player that I can be. So with him helping me out and me working on my own, I can only get better. I'll still be getting the notoriety that I deserve, and if we do good, my name will just get out there more. So it's not really, you can't always think about what's the big school. You got to think about what's best for you. And I feel like as if NC State is best for me.
But after a promising freshman campaign, Ryan and the Wolfpack parted ways.
I left NC State because the coach that I committed to, he ended up leaving. Me and my mom and my dad sat down and thought Kentucky was the best place for me.
I got about 4 minutes, but yeah, it's interesting to see from your transition from Walton to NC State. You actually played pretty well with the minutes given and the games played, and you started with like 10 or 11 games. But you're as a freshman.
It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy, but it's not crazy, right? Because like what do they say? When you have that notoriety, you have to live up to that notoriety,
right?
And
was Zoe there at that point?
Yeah, that's the only.
It was you, Zoe, and Richard,
and C.J. Leslie,
that played with John Wall, right? Right.
So
y'all were stacked. Good grief.
We were so good, bro.
Right.
But I don't even want to talk bad about Sidney Lowe because Sidney Lowe gave me a chance when nobody would give me a chance. Like I said, I was 5'4" in the 10th grade. And like you said, I played well.
Yeah.
But because everybody was so used to me scoring 30 balls.
Yeah.
me averaging 9 points as a freshman.
I mean, you had 17 against Florida State.
That was my first game started.
I know.
Yeah.
And then you had 23 steals and 5 assists with no turnovers against USC Upstate.
Bro,
bro, you was cooking.
I was going crazy, bro.
Yeah, facts.
And Coach Lowe brought me and Lorenzo into the office, bro. And he said, y'all have to wait till next year. Imagine hearing that, bro. Y'all have to wait till next year.
What do you think was the motive behind that? Because
he told us.
Oh, so what was it?
It was because CJ Leslie, rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
He was top 5 in the nation.
Correct.
He at the time
stock was through the roof.
Right. I thought he was the next Kevin Garnett.
For sure. I mean, his athleticism was next level. I mean, watching him play next to John Wall in high school was scary.
Come on,
bro.
yeah. But coach was like, CJ isn't doing as well right now, and he's the guy. He's who we here for. And there was another guy named Tracy Smith on the team.
Right,
senior,
I remember him. He was a dog.
And he scored the ball.
He was a dog. I remember, bro.
So I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I'm killing. I want to get out of here too, but I do get it. But at the same time, I'm an asshole. when he told me, like, bro, you gotta take the back seat.
Yeah.
I told him, bro, I got the flu.
Straight up.
Yeah, I won't be here for 2 weeks.
Straight up.
I got the flu.
He talking about.
Yeah, but like, what you mean? I got to take the back seat to
Right,
somebody
right.
because I'm playing well.
Nah, facts.
We're definitely fighting for minutes. Like it was,
You know what I'm saying?
it was a senior there, Javi Gonzalez. Love Javi, great guy, but you're not better than me. But back in those times,
I remember him.
Only people that was playing freshman for real,
Calipari.
was Calipari.
Right.
He was the only one doing it for real.
Right.
So I'm.
So what made you choose? You know what? So was it the firing of Sidney Lowe?
Yeah. Once Sidney Lowe got fired, I said I did, and I never did any recruiting.
Right.
I never been on any visits. I never got to experience that.
Right.
So I just wanted to see, what it was like.
Test the waters.
Let me just see who wants me. Mm-hmm. I had Texas, Georgia, St. John's, Louisville, Kentucky. I wanted to go to Texas.
That's facts.
I wanted to go to Texas because of the strength coach just had something of how I was moving on the court and how he can improve it. And I was like, dang, like this is crazy.
So that was really at the top of the list before
Kentucky.
UK. Yeah.
But I did want to go to Texas, but then like who turns down Kentucky?
We switched over from NC State. You transferred to what made you? Yeah, you ain't finished. What made you actually lock in with them?
Who tells Calipari no, bro?
So he came to your house.
He didn't even come to my house. He flew me to his house.
Oh shit!
Calipari sat me down, bro, at his house. Welcomed us in, happy to see me. Boom, 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 and got right to it. I don't want you. I don't need you. I don't need you.
He ain't say that.
He got right to it. He said it to he said it to me, and then he looked at my mom. He said, I want to talk to both of y'all. I don't need you. And then looked at my mom. But I want you. And if he could have went and he usually gets a freshman guard.
Right.
He picked me. Right. Got a call, and I was pretty excited, being able to play for Kentucky would be a great opportunity for me. I think every high school kid, coming up wanted to play for them when they came here with DeMarcus Cousins, Bledsoe, and John, and me and John were friends. They give their point guard a lot of freedom, and the dribble drive offense is great, and, being able to, the point guard to make plays, that's what I'm used to, having the ball in my hands and make plays for others and make plays for myself. Next year when I'm able to play, I'll have the system down and Coach Cal will have confidence in me and I'll just be out on the floor, doing what I do best.
Short into the arms of Davis, and the superior team all season long was the superior team tonight. And the Kentucky coronation is complete. Champions 2012.
When we had
to visit, me and my mom, we really liked Coach Carroll because he was honest with us. The one thing I remember, he was like, I don't need you, but I want you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could get anybody in the nation to come play for me and play for this school, but we want you to come here and, you know, you to come and learn and run the show. And I think that was the most honest thing I've heard.
Ryan Harrow transferred from North Carolina State. Now, we don't take many transfers, but I looked at it and said, I like this kid in high school. We're gonna have a gap in point guards for us. The second thing is he's got to get tougher, stronger. Ryan has to play more physical. It's great because he has no choice. If he doesn't play more physical, he's gonna be sitting with me.
Me being here as a redshirt last year, it was hard. I had to do everything that they did, and then when it was time for them to play in the real game, I just had to cheer them on and be supportive. It takes a lot to go through a year without playing and having a team that won a championship and you felt like you could have been a part of that team, just knowing that next year will be your year.
It's hard to lead when you're learning, and all of a sudden, I'm hitting you as a player, and I'm all over you. You had nothing, find somebody. You know what I'm saying? In Ryan's case, you have to be high energy, speed, quickness, and all over it. You can't play that way. Just react to what's happening to you. He's not there right now. Now, I'll say this, he's better than he's ever been. He's stronger than he's ever been, and that's not good enough. Now let's go. What happened? Because he doesn't want to touch another body. It's how he plays. Now, I'm going to tell you, Ryan, it's crazy because you're just giving up a spot. It's like being a quarterback on a football team. You had the spot, you're giving it away. You got no toughness. Now, you say how you want. Here we go. I have to figure out Ryan Harrow. It's just like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You almost said it's stolen. He's going to have to get tougher. He's going to have to battle more. I may have to take his position away to make him fight for it. You're now a backup. Now figure out what you want to do. And, you know, like guys, you know, it's not any personal thing. It's just figure it out. Or, you know. I'm tired thinking of how much work I got to do.
The college basketball season begins tonight, and from Brooklyn, New York, we welcome you to the Barclays Center Classic presented by Sheetz. And as the new season tips off, John Calipari's defending national champs are ready to find out, is Kentucky good enough to repeat?
Key for Kentucky be the point guard play of Ryan Harrow. They've had so many good point guards over the years. He has the pressure and has to really get them in their offensive sets.
Goodwin back out to Harrow, who's battling flu-like symptoms. There was some question about whether he would start in this one.
Ryan Harrow still not with the team. He's been suffering from fatigue. They've done some blood work. We have seen before, but Kyle, again, no Ryan Harrow. Cats had hoped to get him some action tonight, but after the illness, he's now back home dealing with a family issue. They expect him back this weekend.
Well, by the way, Ryan Harrow is here and is expected to play tonight for the Wildcats.
Isaac, Savannah Naya.
There's Ryan Harrow into the paint. High off the
And saved by Harrow.
Oh, his style looks like a point guard on that possession.
Wiltshire surrounded. Gets it back. Backdoor feed. Harrow with a reverse.
Three-point play for Cauley Stein. And the takeaway, Ellington.
Dogs it in for the last 5 shots. Harrow to the
Richardson misses the layup. He didn't block that one, but he might have affected the shot.
Harrow, reverse.
Nice drive.
Another new shot clock. Harrow. Got it.
This is a young man that needs to assert himself on that end, and he's a big reason why Kentucky has 24
Here's what I told him. I told him in a huddle, and then I told him after the game. When he's playing the right way, with aggressiveness, talking to his teammates, that look in his eye, he's as good as anybody in the country right now. I'm looking around at point guards. He's fine.
It is Super Tuesday, and it's the SEC on ESPN. Our matchup, a battle of top 25s. The defending national champions are back in the rankings at number 25 against the 7th-ranked Gators of Florida, who have not lost on their home floor this year, 11-0. As you take a look at the SEC standings, Florida just a 1-game lead now. They were rolling along until last Super Tuesday when they lost to Arkansas. They battled back to win over the weekend. Kentucky now has put a winning streak together. There you have it. The battle for the top spot is at hand.
While you talk about Kentucky, it starts when you talk about the human eraser. Noel, the best shot blocker in America, has phenomenal timing. He can also rebound to ignite their transition game.
Big job by Rosario to play the lane, and Noel hit his left knee on the basket brace as he blocked that shot, and that did not look good. Straight years as Gators have won that many, and he and John Calipari are already meeting at midcourt. It was all Florida.
According to UK officials, Nerlens Noel is now officially out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL. He's expected to undergo surgery within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and typically recovery time for that injury is 6 to 8 months. How much does this change what you expect from UK the rest of the season? You think they make the tournament? What's their ceiling if they do get into the tournament?
I obviously don't think that they're going to win the next Florida game here at Rupp Arena. I just don't see that happening. With the only guy that seemingly could have made it possible would have been that game day with Missouri, who's just a bunch of guards, maybe because the matchup's a little better. You mentioned Alex Oriaki. He's the only guy really that Missouri has that's a big driving force down low. Maybe they can get out of that one. But if Kentucky starts losing even more games, SEC tournament, do they even get out of that? I mean, you know, from the 9 seed, I think that they were the last bracketology I saw from Joe Lunardi. It starts slipping real quick, especially when you take into account Nerlens being out. How many games can they win if they can win any of the remaining games? A trip to Knoxville coming up isn't any easy.
30-point win for Tennessee. Conzo Martin's team knocks off John Calipari and the Kentucky Wildcats.
A massive blue has traveled south a bit to the Music City of Nashville. Firmly on the NCAA tournament bubble, their Kentucky Wildcats are about to play the biggest game of the season. Lose to Vandy, and there may be no dance. Vanderbilt wants to prove that Nashville is their city. Cats and Commodores now on the SEC Network.
Catville, Tennessee. Ryan Harrow, this is going to be a game. I think Vanderbilt will give Kentucky a huge scare tonight and then offer the game back to the Cats. And it's a question of whether Kentucky is tough enough to snatch it away from them. And this will be a toughness game. Can Ryan Harrow lead those Wildcats to that toughness victory?
They're playing really physical. We're missing layups because we're getting bumped. We're not able to hold a post position because they're pushing and shoving. You got a ball. This is a dogfight. Or you can give up the game.
Harrow, his little teardrop. Harrow the rebound. His floater won't go.
Couple more games, huh? They still have a chance to get in the tournament.
Well, Vanderbilt's been to the semifinals the last.
This is just on me. I'm the reason we lost. There's nothing else to say. If I would have played well, we would have won.
Why do you say that? Andy, do anything different from the first time you all played each other?
No, I missed all my shots that I was supposed to make. It's on me.
Keep coaching them, and maybe the light goes on. Maybe reality hits, and you hit rock bottom. You either want to change or you're delusional. We'll see if we have delusional guys or they understand.
What's it been
Well,
like for you?
one thing is I have no regrets because I tried everything. Humbling because it's probably the first group in a long time that wouldn't respond and change, which means that, you know, to say, well, it's going to happen every year because it happened 8 straight years, now it's like, think back to that year because it didn't happen. And again, it's learned a lot of lessons that our staff has taken into account as we go forward, what kind of team we have, what kind of personnel we have, what kind of mentalities we have, the guys that we've always had in the past. You know, so it's a great learning experience. Hate going through it. I'd rather learn from someone else's issues than my own. Guys that can deal with us as coaches, me as a head coach, and can play with the mentality we want them to play with. We got to be more precise in that. You can't just go, there's a certain toughness that you got to have in this thing, and I've always had it. And when you don't have it, you know, and I told Dwayne this, there's no anxiety with this team for me, because why am I worried about it? Because I have no idea what's going to show. Man, I hope we're ready. Because you just, this guy and that guy, you don't know, are you going to show today? Are you going to, but you know what? I'm going to say it again. At any point in your life, you can change. Start today. Start today and practice the game tomorrow and go forward and change. Wishful thinking because I've been saying it every day and we haven't. So, but that's my hope, and I won't change off of that. This team can be as good as they want to be. We could have backed into the tournament. We didn't. Now we got to go on the road and play, which is a good thing for us. If you want to keep the season going, let's go.
Mays gives it up. Wiltshire for 3. Off the heel. No good. It's over. Robert Morris has beaten Kentucky. Hold on, partner. Just hold on.
We're going to sit down. I told them out. We'll have individual meetings. I'm not ready to do that yet. We'll have individual meetings, and I told them out. The one thing is expect me to be honest with them. Sorry. Expect me to be honest with them, and that's what I'll do. I'm just I'll be honest with every one of the guys, and you know, the way. You know, we were discombobulated. When we lost Nerlens, we thought we could recover, but we just weren't tough enough to. Let me say this. Robert Morris played a great basketball game, and let me tell you what they did. They just physically came in and said, these guys cannot withstand our physical toughness. Go at them. That's all they did. So whether it was us driving, whether we were trying to get open, whether it was them on offense, they played a physical, tough, hard-nosed basketball game. They took charges when they needed to, and we were down 10-0. Game was too rough. It just got too rough. And you sit there and you just shake your head, and there were guys that couldn't play in the game. Just couldn't put them in because we were trying to win. Well, the best thing that's going to happen to us next year is we're going to have unbelievable competition at every spot. So there's no one here that's promised, okay, I played 30 minutes a game. You may play 5, but you will change. The stuff I had to accept this year, the program almost got hijacked. That will not be, never in my career have I surrendered in any way to any team, and I did at times this year, to try to save guys, to try to help guys, and it never works. One, I did things to try to help this team that I've never done, but things that I did to try to save guys, when you have more people, you cut right then. Now, you're on the team, but you're just not going to play that much because you won't change. And most of it's just accepting change. You can't play this way and play. Was it the lack of leadership or guard play? I know people have said our guard play stunk. I don't know if it stunk. I'll have to go look back. But all I know is there were things that we did this year we will not do, we'll correct, and we'll be fine. Guys, Look, I love every one of you, and I'm going to look after you, but you're going to hear the truth in your individual meeting.
Before that season started, my father ended up having a stroke. And after the season, me and Coach Cal sat down and thought that it would be best for me to be home with my father.
So Ryan headed back to Georgia, and for the third time in his young career, began the daunting process of learning an entirely new system from the ground up. This time, as a Georgia State Panther.
Do you still keep in touch with that team? Because who else was on that team? Nerlens Noel's, right?
Nerlens, and that was the one I was closest with.
Really?
Yeah.
Nerlens went number 1, didn't he?
Yeah, and see, that was really our problem. I wasn't really close with anybody on the team because I was my own person and stuff, and people pick their groups,
And then you pick and choose which teammates you're gonna fuck with, and then the locker room kind of gets divided. I've been a part of that, so I feel that.
Bro, I'm not sure. I think this is right. If you look at our season and the season that they had right after us, bro, we had a better season than them.
You did. They gave y'all hell.
They just made it to the tournament.
They gave y'all hell because there was a stretch of games that y'all lost, and it was like UK was just at that point. There was so much attention on UK and so much attention on Calipari. So anytime y'all didn't win, it was the end of the world. It was the end. They critiqued everybody, and they critiqued you a lot. How did that affect you? During that time frame when you just said, like you weren't really too close with too many guys, and maybe Nerlens was your closest boy. But what was that like when you going through, and also I read also up on you, your pops got had a stroke right after that title game before you were eligible to play.
Right.
And you didn't want to be there.
Right. But I stopped, like I said about my grandma. Like that people think it's just, he just stopped. Like, I'm a family guy first. I love my family.
100. I'm the same way.
My dad had a stroke. And my parents, because they know
seriousness of
how I am, they didn't even tell me the first 3 days that he was in the hospital. They wanted to see how he was progressing. And once they saw, okay, Ryan, this is what's going on, I packed my shit up and I came to Atlanta. After I packed my shit up, I ain't gonna lie, Kentucky helped me with my mental. They did kind of look out for me, but at the same time, they was like, he don't care about basketball. That's not his.
It's not the top priority.
It's not his top priority. Right. And at Kentucky, basketball is top priority.
Period. Most of the Power Fives.
Yeah. Basketball.
And this is not even school basketball,
right,
nigga.
This is your family.
right.
This is your family. And now I look back on it and I wish I was more headstrong, because you got to think about it, bro. I averaged 10 at Kentucky.
You did. And that was a solid 10.
People that averaged less than me got drafted.
Right.
At Kentucky.
Right.
It was just the stigma on
you averaged double figures the last 18 out of 24 games, bro.
It was just this stigma on me that he doesn't care about basketball. And I didn't even get to play how I usually play at Kentucky.
I peeped. It seemed like you were handicapped there, and I don't want to blame Calipari.
I don't either. I'm not going to blame him because I'm the one out there.
Right.
But
maybe he expected that from you, and maybe you, you tell me.
I think I should have been more at like a Rob Dillingham, where he just going to go out there and do what he want to do. It don't matter.
Right.
And I ain't even going to lie. Rob Dillingham is a better shooter than I was at the time.
Right. Your shot got improved as you got older.
But just a flat out score? No, bro. But it just, I didn't have that mindset.
We were young. You were young.
Right.
Different season.
I also didn't have, like, he had Reeves.
He had the Reed, Reed, the white boy.
Yeah, he got them all around him making plays for him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I had to make the plays for everybody else.
Right,
I was really the guard. Yeah. They tried to run Archie at the point guard, and
I didn't like that.
He's more of a shooting guard, but he's a true two. He's a guard. Yeah, he's a true shooting guard. So it's like all those things play a part, but everybody is a expert.
Right. Everybody knows what's best.
At that time, all those experts, it would be like, man, bro, I'm tired of fucking hearing from y'all, bro. Because I did read it because I would read it myself too.
Anything that has to do with me.
Yeah, and like if you ask people, I was one of the players that, like, however long it took to sign autographs, I was gonna sign every autograph.
That's real.
Because some of them, you know, they'll be like, hell no.
Prideful.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Prideful.
Because but you gotta think about it, bro. At Kentucky, your autograph, it's worth something once they leave. He made me leave, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't ask to leave Kentucky. Like,
really?
Who would ask to leave Kentucky? Wow. But what we gotta realize too is, just like how we want something and we're striving for something, these coaches have made it to where they want to be, especially like a Kentucky and a Calipari. So they're fighting for their lives too. And if you're not producing for them, it's on to the next.
It's irreplaceable.
Yeah, you're replaceable.
So basically, that's what made you leave. And did he fully support? Because I saw another article and they said you moved into Calipari's house for a bit.
I did.
Oh, so was that smooth? He was a solid guy. Well, how was that?
I think Calipari is a good guy, bro.
Right, good man.
He's a good man.
Is he a father?
He's a father. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he has a father-oriented vibe, right?
He's a good guy, and he definitely looked out for me, but it wasn't all peaches and cream, though.
No, for sure.
I mean, he definitely moved me into his crib for a little bit because I was going through some like mental stuff because of my dad, and they wanted to make sure like I'm straight.
Hell yeah.
I don't do anything.
Georgia, 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 Georgia.
Georgia, 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 Georgia.
All right, Ryan, you've now been here for a few months. How's the transition been from Kentucky to Georgia State?
It's been good. You know, the guys have really, accepted me and made me feel like family. And, I'm back home now, so it's a good feeling to be back home and see my family. And, the guys have just welcomed me, and I really appreciate it from them. Coaches helping me out and getting me acclimated with the guys, so it feels good.
Ball squeeze up on top. Pretty move there, lost it, got it back. Oh, tough shot by. He really is, usually if he plays good. Great pass. Harrow was a point guard in Kentucky last year, and you can see those point guard skills. The former point guard at Kentucky.
There he, Hunter's cutting underneath that basket. Was a great move. The defense was nowhere to be.
White kicks it to the corner. Harrow for three, and he has got it rolling now. Ryan Harrow is on fire. Back to Harrow again for three. Oh, Harrow comes around that screen, step back. Oh, how tough is that? Line wanted a different high screen and roll. Oh, what a spin move. Georgia State will move on to the championship game tomorrow afternoon.
Stranger to celebrations and big moments. Today is another. There is one more mid-major ticket yet to be punched. One more big moment taking place. One more celebration to be staged. One more team to realize a dream fulfilled. And we welcome you once again to Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Today, it's the championship game of the Sun Belt Conference Tournament as the 3-seed Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns take on the top seed Georgia State Panthers. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Ronkowski, short.
Good offense, though. I like the inside out and reversal.
Spin move, Harrow, beautiful. Is on fire with 3 triples already. Harrow, nice take. There's that change of speeds again.
I'm going to go old school on him. He reminds me of Earl the Pearl Monroe. The way he changes speeds, the way he can spin off the dribble. He's so herky-jerky. He's
Washington. Harrow on the leak out. Easy 2.
I like the way R.J. Hunter caught it.
Davenport grabs the rebound off the miss. And Harrow takes it away. Nice sequence by Ryan Harrow. He has 13. Rebound. 7 lead changes in the game. And there's Harrow again to the cup.
Little hesitation and then explode to the basket.
Manny Atkins, we have immediate timeout under 16 minutes. This one's going to come down to it. A close one in the Sun Belt.
Off. Georgia State only their second game.
Another beautiful take by Ryan Harrow, who has 19.
Stop and go.
10 minutes left. 1-point game. Harrow up and under.
Georgia State.
Bomalu, second chance opportunity. Knocked away. Harrow got the contact and the... No good. Here's Harrow again.
He's constantly surveying and probing.
Oh my goodness. Ryan Harrow is putting on a show.
That's Ryan Harrow against everybody the last 2 possessions in a row. Watch Ryan Harrow. He's defended by a 4-man committee in black jerseys. All 4 jerseys and a 5th coming into play, but Ryan Harrow still makes the play. And you know what? I kind of like it. And then he goes against 4 more defenders and lays it up on the backside. It's 1 versus 5, and Ryan Harrow is dominating.
Number 31 on the boards this afternoon.
Very good. He hasn't scored as well, but he's contributed in other ways, especially on the glass. It's too easy. It's too easy, number 55, Ryan Harrow.
It's Ryan Harrow's world, and we're just living in it. And Pops, you can breathe easy.
He came home because his dad had a stroke. He wanted to play closer to his father. And his father is here today, and there is one proud papa in the stands watching number 55 who said, I wish I could play for my dad. Number 55, you are today on national TV.
So many times, Mark, we hear athletes talk about being in the zone. My friend, we're witnessing that right now with Ryan Harrow.
And just sit back and enjoy the opportunity to see father and son together. An emotional day for Dad, and we all understand why.
Well, Kentucky playing the SEC championship, and this young man, Ryan Harrow, transferred from Kentucky to Georgia State, has put on a show in the Sun Belt Championship.
And he transferred to be close to his father who had had a stroke, and he came home. That's good news for Georgia State. You know what, Rich? It's not Father's Day, but it sure feels like it here in New Orleans.
Be still my beating heart, says Mark Harrow. Feeling better, able to watch his son play in so many games, living in the Atlanta area where Georgia State is based. 3 to shoot. Inside, Washington. The follow, Harrow. But wait, they say it didn't touch the rim.
They're going to confirm. I think it did hit the backside of the rim.
Tim Gaddis called 35-second shot clock violation. Ray Natili jumped in and said, we're going to have to check.
Hit right there. It hit the rim.
So that would mean fresh 35 and another 2 points. Smart. Harrow, easy to the hole.
Live to fight another day. That's what Ryan Harrow did right there. Just extended this game by getting the 2 and keeping it tight. And when you've got R.J. Hunter can bang.
Rimmer back at the line. He's knocked down his last 2, but he missed that one. 15 seconds left. 1-point game. Five seconds. Harrow. Off the mark. And the Raging Cajuns are rocking and rolling. Their first trip to the dance in 9 years. They win 3 games in 3 days, the last against the top 2 seeds in the Sun Belt. And the final Cinderella at the dance is Louisiana Lafayette. Despair for the Georgia State Panthers. Elation for the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. Once again, our final score, Louisiana 82, Georgia State 81 in overtime.
Okay, so I knew I was going to play well regardless.
Right.
Because I didn't want to get that stigma, oh, he's coming from Kentucky, and I get here and I don't play well. Okay, he shouldn't have been at Kentucky. I was going to make it clear.
We ain't got time for all that.
Yeah, I was going to make it clear, like, yeah, I'm nice.
I'm stamped.
Yeah, I'm nice.
Yeah, facts.
It's just I haven't been in, let's say, the right positions.
Yeah.
People don't know what's going on in the background.
Right,
That's
right,
what it
right.
was. I made it a point when I got to Georgia State, I wasn't going to let no man deter me from me knowing that I was cold.
Facts.
So if you look at the stats from my junior year and how it started off, I might have been averaging like...
Bro, you had 34 against Elon, 27 against Vanderbilt, 33 against Old Dominion, 24 against Eastern Carolina, 30, excuse me, 37 points against UL Lafayette.
So, but just at the beginning of the season, I'm saying, like, I might have been averaging maybe close to 30.
Yeah.
But we're losing.
Yeah.
But I was making
Was RJ there that year? Was Kev Shaw was there? Everybody?
Yeah, everybody was there.
Kevin Ware too?
Mm-hmm. No, Kevin Ware came my senior year.
Okay.
But we were cold though.
Yeah, you were cold.
We were cold. But I was making it a point like I'm cold,
him.
but we're losing.
Right.
They called me into the office, and because I was playing differently in practice than I was in the game. In practice, I was cool. I was passing them. I was the guy.
Yeah, that's one. That's one.
And so after that falling out, right? We had that falling out. They bring me into the office. Boom, boom, boom. All of that. We win 18 straight, 19 straight.
Right, and y'all went to the Sun Belt Championship game. That was the Sun Belt Championship game where you had 37.
Bro.
Yeah.
19 straight. When you're winning, nobody can tell you nothing.
11 for 12 from the free throw line that game.
Man, we should have won that game. Alfred Payton.
Facts. Yeah, he's a pro. I mean, he's still in there now. He's tough. Yeah, he's
37,
tough.
Bro.
Yeah, you gave him buckets. Yeah, facts. Yeah, that's nice.
No disrespect to Alfred Payton.
No, facts, but that just means you gave him pro buckets.
He made it to the league, bro.
Facts.
Made it to the league, and wonderful. That's great.
Right.
But like, nigga.
Here with associate head basketball coach Darryl LeBerry. Coach, you've known Ryan Harrow now basically almost his entire life. You've seen him playing basketball since he was about 6, 7 years old. Talk about his development over the years and kind of what you've seen.
Well, Ryan, when he was about 6 or 7, was always a very crafty ball handler. He was kind of like our trick guy. Like, he used to come to Georgia Tech camp when I worked when I was a player there, and I used to work the camps in the summer times. And instead of having someone come in and speak or having some entertainment come in, we would just give Ryan Harrow the ball at lunch and just like let him do tricks, because he was unbelievable at what he could do with the ball, and that has translated to what he's become as a college player, because he has the ball on the string and he can kind of get to wherever he wants to get to. But he couldn't really score. He wasn't very strong, and he was even smaller than he is now. He was tiny. So he couldn't even get to the he would get to the basket and couldn't even shoot it. But now, as you can see, he's matured, he's grown, he's athletic, he's gotten longer. I never, ever would have guessed he would have got to 6'1", 6'2", whatever he is in that range now. I thought he was going to be like 5'7", 5'6", but he's become a really good player.
How much did he improve last season, and how much do you think the change of environment coming home really helped his game out?
Well, I was just watching the shorter film because it's my scout for this year, and I was watching him play last year. And some of the plays he made early in the year, the finishes that he couldn't make, he looked uncomfortable. He was a little unsure of himself, didn't know exactly what he wanted to do offensively or defensively to what he did later in the year by the time we got to the championship game when he had 37 to offer Peyton. I mean, it was a drastic improvement. I would love to take all the credit as far as the coaching staff, but a lot of it was him. He bought into what we were saying. He listened to us. He matured. He came in. He watched film, and he did a lot of work on his game. And I think he just became comfortable with himself, having come back home, having his family around, having friends and family that haven't been able to watch him play at the other 2 stops he was at, come and see him on a consistent basis. And I just feel like he got back to the level of play that he had when he was in AAU in high school in the state of Georgia.
And obviously, last question for you. He's had a year in our system. What do you think he's capable of doing and being this year? And then after Georgia State, is the sky the limit for him?
I told people all summer long, he's really even improved since the spring to now. I think there's really no limit to what he can do. He had a great year last year, but I think he's going to be way better than he was last year as far as his assist numbers, defensively, scoring, his shooting percentages, because he's shooting the ball from the perimeter a lot better than he did last year. And then moving forward, if he just continues to work the way he worked this spring and this summer, I think he's a pro-level talent. I think everybody wouldn't argue with that. It's just, does he have the intangibles? Is he going to continue to work on his game? Is he going to continue to try to improve? Is he going to become more vocal, become a leader, which he's done with us? Will that continue to develop? And if that does, I think we'll see him playing at the next level.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Here with senior Ryan Harrow. Ryan, looking back on last year, your first year here in the program, first year back in Atlanta, individually, was it what you had hoped coming home and being able to perform the way you did?
Definitely. I thought I had a really good year last year. I was just coming, trying to join the team, make sure that they accepted me, but I wanted to, do well so that they could see that I could play with them and that I wanted to win just as bad as them. And I think I did that,
really boosted up my stats from all the other years that I played. But I was just learning from coaches, and I was really working hard last year because I wanted to make a point that, you know, even though I had to leave because of my circumstances, that I'm able to play.
Talk a little bit about how important it was to be welcomed back into, you know, Atlanta, and with so many family, friends, being welcomed by the fans. You know, you're obviously one of the fan favorites. How much did that help just from a confidence perspective when you're out on the court? You know, even if you might have missed a shot, they were going to be there for you.
Well, I mean, it was great to be back home in Atlanta with my family being here and all my friends that I grew up with. That was great. It was kind of like surprising when I got to school that people actually knew who I was, and like they was excited for me to play. So just having them come to the games and them being excited to see me play out here, it makes me, you know, want to do well on the court and have fun and, you know, bring excitement to the game.
And before we let you go, obviously, you know, team got off to a little bit of a slow start this year, and obviously it ended a little disappointing from a team perspective. How much with the summer practice and what you guys have been able to do already, as well as this being your second year into this system, do you think that'll help you guys get off to a quicker start, per se, as games get underway, exhibition games and then regular season?
I think the biggest thing for us was the trip to Costa Rica. We was really all able to bond together, and we was able to play games over the summer so we could kind of see what each other can do on the floor. And we just all been working hard, and we really a close-knit group, even though we have a lot of new people and freshmen and stuff like that. But we all, you know what each person is best at. And as long as we listen to coach and, you know, we take from what we learned last year and implement it to this year, I think we'll be pretty good.
Unveiling of the Sun Belt Conference Championship banner from 2013-14 right now here on the floor of the Sports Arena.
We're pleased to unveil the 2013-14 Sun Belt regular season championship banner, a testament to the hard work put in by our coaches, student athletes, and youth fans for giving Georgia State the best home court advantage in the Sun Belt.
Regular season 2014 champions, Sun Belt Conference. That'll hang from the rafters here at the Georgia State Sports Arena.
killed at Georgia State, bro.
No, you killed. I mean, senior year, you won 2015 Atlanta Tip-Off Club College Player of the Year.
For the city.
For the city.
Right. So
that's
with
respect.
That's
respect.
with Georgia Tech,
right.
with Georgia,
yeah,
all of them in there.
Yeah. I mean, you scored 20 or more points in 16 games.
But I was averaging 20.
You were averaging 20.7 before the injury.
And he put me in the game, bro, for 10 seconds for 2 games.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's
People
insane.
don't average 20 in college.
Yeah, facts.
And he put me in the game, bro, for 10 seconds for 2 games.
27 against Southern Miss. 14 points, 11 assists versus Western Carolina. 26 points versus Colorado State. This is all in the same year. Then you had a season high 31 against Monroe, and you hit 7 trays in that game.
Yeah, but I was.
You was on fire that game, bro.
I was dogging.
That's crazy.
That year I was going berserk.
Like, watching that momentum, bro, and then I didn't realize why you were sitting when it got to the tournament.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, oh shit, he got hurt. But people were keeping that low. I didn't know you were hurt.
They was doing everything for me, bro. They acupuncture. They was doing holistic shit, all types of stuff, and it just wasn't working. But they wanted me out there, and then Coach Ryan was like, "Yeah, we'll just put you out there as a decoy." Like, nigga.
Nah.
The Georgia State Panthers ready to go in Jacksonville, and so are we as the 14th-seeded Panthers take on the Bears of Baylor. His starting lineup and his second leading scorer, Ryan Harrow, will not start because of a hamstring injury. He's very much a game-time decision here today, but he's not in the starting lineup. Meanwhile, he misses! Shipes the rebound!
Got to push this to the basket. Take it to the basket, guys. 9 seconds.
No timeouts left.
What are they doing?
R.J. Hunter for 3. Good! Ron Hunter has fallen off his stool for good reason. Georgia State up by 1. Baylor called its final timeout.
That is one of the most incredible things that I've seen. They were going nowhere. I was wondering if they were going to get a shot. And R.J. Hunter, I guess he came up big in the last 5 minutes here. What a shot.
Ron Hunter tipped over his stool after his son made a 3 to give Georgia State the lead.
I won't lie. It was disappointing not seeing you. Like, I think you came back for what, a game against Xavier, was it?
And I played well.
You had 2 threes in that game.
I was playing well, bro. And then the coaches come to me and they said, "We're going to shut you down."
That's some bullshit.
I'm like, bro, what?
Right. It's my senior year, nigga. What? I'm trying to go pro.
We're going to shut you down. And I was like, all right, bet. I put my clothes back on. And that was it for Georgia State. I appreciate Georgia State for sure.
No, 100, bro. I mean, honestly,
I just graduated from there. They paid for me to
solid.
They paid for me to finish my my school.
That's
so
real. That's real.
I'm definitely appreciative for that.
Thanks. I mean,
I want my jersey retired there. Bro.
That's what it should happen between you and RJ. Honestly, I mean, because y'all both have numbers that, you know. I mean, you finished with 530 points scored, 11th most in school history, just in that season. In one season, despite missing basically.
I think I missed like 8 games.
You missed 9 games.
I missed 9.
You missed 9 games and scored 500. You know, and you made 208 field goals, 6th most in school history, and just 14 shy of the school record the previous year. So you were doing. I mean, bro, a lot of people.
You got to graduate to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
To get your jersey retired.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you got to graduate.
So that's a piece of the checklist. Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like since I marked that off, I really want it, bro, because I got my jersey retired at my middle school. I got Gatorade Georgia Player of the Year, so I got a banner hanging up at Walton.
That's favorite place to play in overseas, as far as experience and like opportunity.
Greece. I lived in Athens, Greece. So you can't really get no back. I won't even say that.
Place. Beautiful.
Athens, Greece is lovely. Like I could see Acropolis, you know what that is?
Yeah,
it's like one of
the big statues.
Eighth wonders of the world, or whatever. I could see that shit from my balcony.
That's next level. That's fine.
Greece was nice, and I played my best basketball in Greece. My 3rd year out, I played like I was the best player probably overseas, and messed up my back. I had back surgery.
Really? I didn't know you had back surgery.
I was playing so well, bro.
What happened?
I woke up one morning and my leg was hurting. I just woke up, got out of bed, and I was like, damn, bro, like something in my leg. The coaches stretched me out. 2 weeks after that, I woke up one morning and I couldn't, like, you know how you can lift your leg? I couldn't lift my leg anymore. 2 weeks after that, I had to drag my leg as I walked. It was crazy, bro. I did all like the shots in my back to like alleviate the pain, and it wouldn't go away. Sciatica is like this is your bone, right? And your vertebrae. And in between each vertebrae, you have like this gel.
Oh, you have the same thing he has. That's exactly what he has.
So the gel spits out when the bones is like compressed.
Right.
And if the gel spits out, that means it's touching your nerve.
It's bone on bone.
No, fuck the bone.
It's the nerves.
The nerve is always, like, you know when your leg falls asleep and you feel that zzz,
yeah.
I would feel that, bro, at all times, and it hurt. All down my leg to my toes. And that shit lasted for about a year, bro.
God damn.
And that was probably like, that's when my basketball career was down.
Right.
Because I was playing so well, bro. I ended up signing with Clutch.
Really?
With LeBron and them.
Wow.
I was playing that.
I didn't know that.
I was playing that well.
Wow.
I signed with them.
Rich Paul them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And boom, back surgery.
Wow.
2 back surgeries.
Wow.
People don't even come back from that.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, that's a fact. And you came back and played in multiple countries.
I came back. I ended up getting in the best league overseas, which is Spain, ACB.
Right.
I get over there. My coach doesn't play me the first game. My first ever DNP did not play me, bro. I get in the next game. I scored 25 in 18 minutes. The very next game, bro, I pop my quad again.
Oh, my goodness. And it tore.
It tore. They cut me. I go back to my team in Greece. They pick me up.
Right. Wow.
I popped it again.
Oh, my God.
They cut me. I still got
picked up. So you wasn't
up.
bouncy like that no more at that point. Do you still can get up?
I can still dunk, but I'll dunk one time and it's over.
Right.
Like I just don't want to feel the pain.
Hell yeah.
That's why I really don't want to play anymore. Cause I had, after all of that, all the tearing on my quad, I had got myself back right just last summer.
Yeah.
Well, maybe let's say 2 summers ago. I went to Bulgaria. I'm killing in Bulgaria, back to myself.
Yeah.
I'm playing in a game, bro, and I'm going crazy. I go up against a 7'5". He set a screen. I'm trying to get over the screen, and he sets a solid screen. He didn't do anything wrong. I just try to get over the screen. He catches my shoulder. My shoulder touched my ear, bro. Like the bone went from here to here and went back out. I dislocated my shoulder.
Hell yeah.
I said,
that's a big boy. 7'5".
I said, I'm done. I played the rest of the game, bro. I played the rest of that game. I did that in the first quarter. I played the rest of that game, bro. I didn't miss a shot. I scored 29 points, bro, and I said, that's it for me.
Before we wrap it up, and adversity. What does the word adversity mean to you?
I can't say a word. I'm gonna say a phrase, as in take it and take whatever comes with it. Yeah,
Facts.
take it because it's gonna come.
Right.
It don't matter who you are.
Right.
Got from Ryan Harrow to goddamn Kevin Durant to Steph Curry to Barack Obama, whoever. Adversity hits.
Right. Right.
And it's how you take it and keep moving with it.
Right.
If you
roll with the punches.
Yeah, if it crumbles you, they gonna let you know about it. And if you beat it, they're not gonna let you know about it. And that's such a a wonderful feeling.
Right. Facts. That's a fact, though.
I conquered this.
Facts.
And
bro, you beat the
wanted me to
odds.
lose.
You beat the odds when you first got to NC State. Then you beat the odds again when you went to UK. Then you beat the odds again when you went crazy at Georgia State. And you went pro.
I tell people all the time, like, I'm thankful. I love basketball.
Facts.
Basketball is still doing it for me to this day because I'm training and I don't have to get a
and you
real
said something
job.
that a lot of niggas, there it is. I was about to say. You said something that a lot of cats can't say. I've never had a real job.
I'm never going to have a real job, bro,
100.
because of basketball.
That's
and think about that. Like, I wake up in the morning, bro. I take my daughter to school. I go back home. I go to sleep. I wake up. I play 2K.
That's the life.
I chill.
Yeah.
I go pick my daughter back up from school.
And then you train.
I come back home and play 2K for a little bit more. And
so you train on certain days?
I train every day.
Oh, you train every day?
I train every day.
So you have a set schedule for certain kids that's going to pop up on you. And then maybe some that pop up just to pop up.
Because they're in school right now,
right.
I'm only, because I have those type of kids mostly. Right. Like the kids that's in high school and middle school and younger.
And then they about to go to AAU. AAU season just started.
So I do from 6 to about 9 right now.
That's solid. Damn. But so you really don't start working till the end of the day.
I don't do nothing, bro. I'm chilling all day. My girl don't work.
Yeah, that's love.
Think about that. She ain't been working since she graduated.
That's a beautiful thing, bro.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing. That's blessings.
We are.
He pulled up in the AMG, y'all. He's living.
I'm good.
Hey, more power to you, brother. Like
I'm doing okay in life. So I'm so thankful because it may not have been like this for other basketball players that don't make it.
Right.
Some of them don't get the luxury to do this, and I want to say thank you to all the people that helped me.
That's big.
Get this luxury.
That's a fact.
Because it wasn't just me, but it's a luxury that I lucked up upon finding a kid that wanted to train with me, and now it's turned into a business that I don't have to go back overseas. Or since I've been back, my girl hasn't even had to look for a job.
That's love, bro.
Because I have that type of capability. Like that, I'm thankful and grateful.
And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like. like. As he fucking should. And this is what it feels like. Feels so fucking good. And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like. Feels so fucking good. And this is what it feels like.